Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel slash podcast. My name is Dr. Hopolang Matee. Some of you know me as Nkanyezi, Hopolang, Niti, Miponi, many names, and each one has a backstory to it. But for today, I'm going to introduce myself as how most of you professionally know me as Dr. Matee. Welcome to what you will call my first episode of this podcast and what I call my first footprint. It has taken me close to 5 years to come to this moment, this day where I record this, where I release it. And I'm going to use today to introduce the podcast myself as well as the theme of today, which is start with what you have. Okay, what that looks like in real time for me is I am recording on my phone. I do not have a microphone. I do not have lighting. I am relying on the sun to give me lighting. And so I better really get into it before it all goes down. For those of you who are in the industry already and are professionally doing this, you will tell the difference between amateur, new kid on the block, starting, and having the equipment. I am doing it with no sponsorship, with no funding, and I'm just starting with what I have. The reason I'm starting with what I have is because I've known all my life that I needed to do things and engage in projects that engage people in the form of speaking, in the form of creating spaces. That has manifested in the form of becoming a clinical psychologist, and so I engage with people in my room. I have done plenty of interviews with people on their platforms, and today I am intentionally becoming a podcaster, and I'm starting fearful, nervous, no experience, with imposter syndrome, but I'm going to start with what I have, and what I have is a divine instruction that I've had for many years to do this. So you're going to ask, what is this podcast about? Okay, and there's so many of us who are engaging in this type of platform and community. So I'm just going to read what I wrote when I developed this thing. This is a community for those of us who would like to co-create a holistic space of becoming, those of us willing to come as we are, navigating the gray areas of life, and together figuring out what that even means. Us who intentionally take the posture and attitude of forever student, courageously looking through a lens of even when I fail, I don't lose, because I learn. I think that was Jay-Z. I'm not sure. I am a Black South African woman. I am a clinical psychologist practicing in Dubai, UAE, a mom, a creative, and so much more that we will come to discover. That is my desire. So let's journey together. That description you'll find on my YouTube channel under Dr._Hopolang_Matee. And let's get into it. So you'll realize I haven't introduced my podcast name because I don't have one. Let's get into the tea. I don't have one because I have decided to take the long route, which requires a lot of legalities, because I would like to trademark this thing. Nervous as I am, imposter syndrome and procrastination over 5 years, I believe in this so much because it is not coming from me. And so I want to protect it. What that has looked like is trialing and erroring and there's that even proper English? Trial and error and researching and searching for names for a brand and a name. And because we are all so courageous and brave and starting and maneuvering and navigating this place, all the names are taken. I have gone from healing footprints to ongoing, to bloom, to ongoing bloom, to thinking out loud, to gray areas, and currently in the process of hoping for the name that has come to me. So welcome to my first episode with my no-name brand, and I am hoping that you will subscribe to the channel, but also become one of the community members to what will be what we will discover, which is the point of this podcast. So as I said, let me start with, who am I? right? That awkward question that we all get in the interview in the job interview, that we never know how to answer, because where do you start? And if we're being honest, and if you're like me, part of that answer is I don't know. But for the purpose of today, like I said, I am a Black South African woman. I am currently living in the UAE in Dubai, and I'm working here. I am a mom to a toddler, interesting times. I am a gifted spiritual being. That is 10 episodes on its own, because that has, what a journey. That has manifested, changed, shifted into many, many things. And there'll be episodes about it probably one day. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist who previously used to work and practice in South Africa, my home country, and I am now living and practicing in the UAE, Dubai. I am an academic and a previous lecturer. I am a forever scholar. I am a friend. I'm so many things. But from today, I am proud and excited to say that I am an intentional creative. This is so important to me, because I have struggled with that way of describing myself, to say I'm a creative, to say that I am a speaker, that I am a teacher. But I am. And as a good friend of mine said to me 2 weeks ago, Hopelang, what does it even mean when you say you're not a creative? Because we were all born to create. As you exist, you are creating every day. And so I am owning it today. That's what I am. Let's get into the purpose of this podcast. I want to start a community that helps debunk how inaccessible therapists feel to people. Now, this is feedback I've gotten over the years speaking in personal spaces, where I've received feedback that people feel that therapists are inaccessible. If I'm being honest, have felt at times inaccessible to people. And I want to start a place or create a space where I show that your therapist is human. He or she may not look like me or sound like me, and they have their own brand and their own way of being. However, we are human. And so today, recording this and starting this is my first step to freeing myself from the shackles of not being human, all under the guise of being professional can only look one way. I've struggled with this in my identity, in my holistic identity, not just professional, but mainly professional identity, that I have to look a particular way to be taken seriously. Yet I am a serious person that just doesn't look and sound the way that you have projected onto me to sound. So even today, I'm very aware that I'm taking a risk where there'll be people who maybe fire me. There'll be people who don't want to come and consult with me. I am very aware of the conservative context that I live in, and I have chosen to live in this country and this city, particularly because of some of the things I subscribe to that are conservative and provide me with safety and security. And so I respect that. I remain very mindful and respectful of where I am. However, I am also both and, right? I am both and. I am also trying to break stereotypes in my profession, in the world that we live in, that likes to box people. I'm not the kind of person you can box. I am so many things that often maybe contradict, but I would like to start a journey where they start to complement one another. I can be on a platform like this and still be a good psychologist and be relatable. So that's the purpose. That's the first purpose. I am fighting an era where there's certain parts of my psychological training, theoretically, that used to believe that self-disclosure is a negative thing, versus what I've come to discover from my clients and my interactions in my professional space as a corrective healing experience. The amount of times that I engage with people and I self-disclose in the room, or I bring more of my humanity and I lean forward into that, and they say, oh, that is so refreshing. Oh, thank you for that. Oh, that makes me think more or feel better. And therapy is not about making you feel better necessarily, but the point I'm trying to make is that I am fighting an era where I have internalized, correctly or incorrectly, that self-disclosure as a clinical psychologist is a negative thing. So I am doing it with audacity, and I'm going to try and do it nervous. And I'm going to start with a woman who inspires me so much. So those of you who are in South Africa, you will know that Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, came and or is currently in the process of doing the Activate seminar, and I attended the one on Friday. And she left me with so many gems that just apply to me holistically. And she said something along the lines of, I'm not quoting verbatim, but rebel against the government that keeps you away from your purpose. And that has stuck with me so much, because for me, the government and systems that have kept me away from my purpose, which is engaging and connecting with people, which I have such a passion and qualification to do, mine has been imposter syndrome, mine has been fear, and mine has been lack of confidence. I just flew in from South Africa today, and I am tired, and I don't have all the tools, but under the guise of start with what you have. I don't have makeup on. I don't have the energy, the capacity. I don't have my weaves and my wigs and my braids. And so I'm going to just go with it and fight against my lack of confidence, my imposter syndrome, and my fear that this will or will not be received well. I am going to put it out there that it will be received how it's meant to be received, because when you get a divine instruction, there are those that it's for. So she also said something about being brave to fail. And most of us wanting to start things when we have guarantees, and most of us wanting to start things when they are working out. But there is something powerful about being brave to fail. I don't know how this will be received. All I know is that I'm excited for it. I am doing it. I'm 12 minutes in, so it is what it's going to be, and it's not going to be what it ain't meant to be. And conforming to rejection is how we miss our purpose. I have conformed to the fear of rejection for so long that it has become my brand. And today is me saying, in real time, I'm going to let you guys witness how the people you think have it together, like your therapist, the people who give you the gems, the people who help you shift, the people who plant seeds that you then do the work every day to grow, also struggle with the very things that they are helping you with. And that can look like fear of rejection and not doing the things that we would like to do, that we are called to do. Today is me breaking that in real time with you, as the community that is currently no name brand, coming to discover what we're going to bloom into. Okay. You don't have to wait for the threat to be gone, she said, to start. There'll always be threats. What I took from that is, not only will there never be the perfect time to start or feeling ready, it's that why do you want the threats to go away? Because the threats are the very things that help you overcome, are the very things that help you monitor your growth, right? So from somebody who started thinking out loud with people in a community on WhatsApp, to Instagram, to being brave to say yes when I'm called for an interview on a radio show or a podcast. Today, the threat is I am putting myself out there in a way that I do not know how it's going to land. And I'm saying, let the threat be there. Let the comments be there, that I don't know what they will be, but I'm going to do it anyway. How many of us have felt that way? That the only time I will feel brave enough to do something is if I have a guarantee that it'll work out or people won't attack me. I actually said this 2 weeks ago to a family friend of mine, and I said, I am so scared of social media attacks, and she said you underestimate how much power you probably have over those attacks, and also don't underestimate how many people are like you and will benefit from you. It got me also thinking into what has helped me procrastinate for so long, and it is the spirit of saturation. So many of us are doing it. What do I have to offer? What do I have to say? Oh, not another podcaster. Yes, guys, yet another podcaster. And you know why? What is wrong with people who are spreading positivity, life, speaking life, health, whatever it is that we are all ordained to do into the universe, where we are all struggling with so many things. Different people are struggling with depression, anxiety, phobias. And so if one more person has the bravery to connect with whomever they are meant to connect with, so that a lot of us can heal, a lot of us can plant seeds, help them grow, water them, be watered. What is wrong with that? What is the spirit of saturation that, oh, so many people are doing it? Isn't that what we were instructed to do? To spread the gospel, to bring each other into conversations that normalize things so that we can struggle less? How many people, why is it that few people must carry the heaviness and the load of the calling on their shoulders? Each of us are called to do something, and so I'm going to do it. There's 100 of us. I'm struggling for a name because there's 1 million of us, and I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway because until we get to a point where we all feel like, okay, we have all spoken, we have all healed, we have all gotten to where we need to, we have heard this enough, there's space for all of us. Let's not gatekeep abundance, because abundance doesn't run out. Let's not underestimate how I am not for everyone, but I am for someone. Let's not underestimate and gatekeep how the same thing can be spoken about, but my lens is different, my voice is different, my energy is different, my perspective is different. So we're doing it. I'm giving myself permission to be undeveloped and be the new kid on the block, and I hope that it gives somebody permission to be underdeveloped and be the new kid on the block in whatever it is that they are about to journey in. You know, as I started this, my heart was racing, and I mentally tuned into my 5 senses, as I always tell my clients. What are the 5 things that you can see? What are the 4 things that you can touch? What are the 3 things that you can hear? What are the 2 things that you can smell? What is the 1 thing that you could taste? I did it. You guys didn't realize it because I'm trained to do it. So I did it, and now I'm feeling calmer. So I'm giving myself permission to be underdeveloped, and me sharing that is to tell you that even though I've recorded 18 minutes of this, I am still nervous and I'm still scared. The insecurity doesn't go away. It doesn't need to go away. I'm going to do it insecure, and I'm going to do it feeling the things that I'm feeling, including my heart rate, and I'm going to ground myself as I am doing it. I am overcoming fear, difficulty, courage, and starting something new. I don't believe in faking it till you make it. I don't like that saying. If you, clients of mine will tell you that I say this to them all the time. I believe in walking and meeting yourself into the real you that you have not come to believe you are. Okay, faking it till you make it is great, but it reinstills or rewires in my mind anyway that it is not me. I am not this person that I am saying I am. It's not true. No, you are. You are just meeting yourself where you have not come to believe you are. So I am not faking it till I make it. I am doing it, right? What did I mean earlier when I said that this for me has been a divine instruction? So outside of me being a spiritual being, I have always had something in me that knew that I would work with people, I would engage with people, I would be on platforms. In fact, when I was in high school, a teacher of mine, Mrs. Govender, who I used to teach at Waverly Girls High, I don't know if she's still there, she used to teach us life orientation, and she did a career lesson once and asked us what we want to be when we grow up. I was one of those kids that never knew. Even how I got into psychology, it was by luck. That is a whole story on its own. But I said to her, ma'am, I don't know what I want to be. All I know is that when I speak, people listen. So I don't know if that is becoming an Oprah, a talk show host, radio, but I just said to her, all I know is that when I talk, people listen. When I talk, people reflect. When I talk, people connect. When I talk, people debate. When I talk, people disagree. When I talk, people get planted, seeds, all sorts of things happen. And so what I am going to do when I grow up is going to entail that. I don't know if that is law. I don't know if that is a radio host, a journalist. I don't know. I suppose I'm still finding out, because never did I think that I would get here recording on my phone, on my couch, doing this. So knowing your why, I don't know my why. My why is that there's a divine instruction that I grew up having. It hasn't gone away. It is not going away. And today I'm trying to find out if this is the way it's supposed to go. But it's a divine instruction from my divine creator. I am hoping to create a space where I meet people where they are, where they come as they are. As today, I'm being vulnerable as my first guest to come as I am. I am going to try normalize social taboos, right? Which is making it okay to just be and just come as you are and be the professional, in my profession at least, that can come and connect in a different way to what many of us give ourselves permission to. The societies that we are part of give us permission to. And we're going to talk about the process of falling forward. Okay? So no step is a misstep, and journeying towards health and healing. I don't know that this is the right way to do it. I'm about to find out. I don't know whether there was a better way to do it. I'm about to find out. What I do know is that I have courageously taken my first step, and it is not a misstep. I know that this is not going to be where I record all the time, and I'm going to record in different venues, in my office, in my home. I am eventually going to have guests lined up. I'm waiting for the name because I would like my first guest to at least be introduced where there is a brand and a name, and hopefully that is soon, right? Prayerfully that is soon. And so in the meantime, I am going to start with uncovering my story in the hopes to uncover your story, whoever you are, and human experiences, and showing all of us, including myself, that human experiences such as imposter syndrome, such as procrastination, such as starting with what you have, is a universal thing. You are not alone. I know that I'm not alone. There's somebody who's going to watch this who is thinking of starting something. They've been scared for many years, and this is your sign. This is your sign. How Pastor Sarah's activate was my sign, and it was actually my 100th sign. This is your sign. There's somebody out there who's already started something and is very successful at it and is well known and is a brand, and is going to watch this and reminisce on, wow, I actually did it. And this is going to be your growth path and trajectory to show you that I used to be that woman. I used to be that little girl. There's going to be a little girl, a little boy, a teenager who's going to watch this and say, that sounds like me. I have all these ideas, but I don't know what they're going to look like. I don't know. We're going to bloom together. Okay? That's what this is. We're going to discover together. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know who this is going to be for. And on the note of who this is going to be for, I can guess. I'm going to guess with you who I think this is for. Okay, so I've made some notes. This podcast is for people who are on their road to being established. I am a qualified doctor, a clinical psychologist. In my profession, you would think that I'm established. I don't view myself that way. I am still learning. When I said earlier that I take the posture and attitude of being forever student, I am forever learning. I am inspired by so many people, not only Pastor Sarah. I'm inspired by so many brave women who. Do I name my inspirations? Because it can go one of two ways. It can look like name dropping, or it can look like, no, I'm gonna name. This is what it's gonna look like. The people that inspire me, who in their professional and personal journeys, I look at and I say, wow, you inspire me, you teach me, you mentor me. I look up to Lesego Tlhabi so much. She wow. I DM her more than I should in giving her flowers. She is brave, she's courageous, she says it like it is, she is direct and kind and thoughtful about it. I look up to Mpumi Ledwaba. She works so hard in crafting what she believes in. She started with what she had. This is inspired by her. She started on YouTube. Sinovuyo with Love Kings. I've been following her since YouTube, trying to learn how to manage my hair. Just women doing what they believe in and seeing that grow. Somebody posted on Instagram the other day, I think it was Sino, saying that it was a meme saying it takes years for a brand to grow. We look at these people and we revere them, and we forget that they started grassroots level in whatever that means for them. I am inspired by Trevor Noah. I am inspired by Anel Mdota. I am inspired by the colleagues I work with here in Dubai. I won't name them because I haven't gotten consent to name them and attach this to my brand. Neither are the other people that I've named, but they are already well-known people that inspire us all. I am inspired by my friends. I have friends in every industry who are Smash Africa helped me even set this up today. I am inspired by so many people, and so a lot of what I do will probably look like what they're already doing, but I acknowledge them. I revere you. Those that I haven't named, I will probably come to name with time. I am not going to acknowledge where my inspiration comes from in the fear of plagiarism. Plagiarism is not acknowledging it. This is not plagiarism. This is me saying that I am not an island. This is not a new idea. Nothing under the sun is new. It comes from somewhere, and it's proof that what they are doing in their industries, in their field, whether they know it or not, actually is planting the seeds that they are meant to be planting. They are doing great in bringing more of us into our purpose. So this is for people who are establishing themselves. It's for people who will say, this is not for me, no thank you. Those who subscribe to the idea that I am not for everyone, and I'm not trying to be. So there'll be people who watch this and say within 2 minutes, no thank you. You get to say that, because the path of my healing as a person, as a personal person, as a professional, is to allow space for a no thank you. Because I too say no thank you to a lot of things and a lot of brands and a lot of podcasts, and I say, oh, this is not for me. This is for the people who will change their minds, who will start with saying no thank you and change their mind along the way and say it wasn't for me, but maybe now it is. This is for the people who aren't sure. It's okay to be ambivalent. You who is like, what is this about? What is she saying? I'm not sure. I'm going to give the line that I give to my clients when they come for their first session. Try 5 sessions, okay? For us, try 5 episodes. It gives you 5 assessment sessions of me, or 5 assessment episodes of me, to say, do I subscribe? Subscribe to the channel. You can always unsubscribe. You can always unsubscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the Instagram profile. Let's journey. Let's grow. Let's normalize starting where we are with what we have and then saying, wow, she started here, and let's track the process, right? A lot of us do one-time interviews, and this actually came from an idea from a good friend of mine, TP, who said, you know what is unique is that if we can track a process with somebody, that is an interesting thing to watch. And so I'm going to start with me, and hopefully we're going to eventually do the project that him and I are speaking about. But start with 5 episodes. This is episode 1. The first few episodes will just be me. I aim to release one once a week. Eventually, I'm going to invite my guests. I have close to 20 guests already that I have in mind, and thematically where I want to speak to them about certain things from a lens of becoming, a lens of what I've described today, a lens of ongoing development and an ongoing blooming process. This is for those who struggle with imposter syndrome in real time, like me. You don't feel ready, you don't feel qualified, your heart rate isn't settling like how mine isn't still. This is for people who want to fight against that and start to denounce that and start to have authority over empowerment. Those who say, I'm going to be this and that, I'm going to carry my imposter syndrome, I'm going to name it, I'm going to acknowledge it, I'm going to look you in the face, and I'm going to do it anyway. I am going to have no funding and have poor audio or whatever it is, and I'm going to do it anyway. This is who this is for. It's for us who are going to do it anyway, whatever your anyway is, okay? This is for those who don't believe in gatekeeping. There's a lot of platforms out there. So what? What is the point of that conversation and that statement? And if you do have a so what, engage in the comments. Subscribe, engage in the comments, and tell me so that you can stretch me as a human being to say, actually, he or she has a point. Have you considered this? Right now, I'm in a mental space of, I'm not trying anything new. I'm trying something under the sun. That is not new under the sun. I am trying something that is tried and tested and works. It's not innovative, but it's innovative for me, and it will be innovative for our community, our no-name community, with the community that will very soon, I'm putting it out there, not be no-name brands. So what? So what if many clinical psychologists are putting this out on TikTok, and a lot of wellness stuff are out there? So what? Are we not all trying to shift towards being okay, being healthy, being mindful, being connected? So what if there's one more person doing it, right? I don't subscribe to the seed or the energy or the vibration of saturation. So what if there's 100 accountants out there? Are we not all financially trying to learn literacy, financial literacy? How many of us are in debt? How many of us don't know how to save? How many of us don't know how to invest? So if there's one more person who can reiterate something or say it in a way that finally lands, if it took me over 5 years to do this, that was way before. I mean, Pastor Sarah has been there for many years. I have mentors from everywhere that have been saying this. I have friends who speak life into me. I have family who speak. But it took this weekend. It took that message. It took Pastor Sarah and one church saying, we're going to go to South Africa, to Johannesburg, and preach this message. It wasn't the first time that thematically she's saying what she's saying. But if she said, oh, there's enough pastors, there's enough people. If Rorisang did not say, I'm going to partner up with these people, I don't even know how she came to be involved in that, but I imagine she said, I'm going to be brave enough to partner up with these people and bring them to my home. And this seed wouldn't have activated, right? So what? So what? If one person watches this, if one teenager out there watches this, if one South African, if one American, anybody watches this and says, today was my day to hear this from this person, man, I would have answered the divine instruction that I got when I was 15 years old in Miss Govinda's class, right? So the podcast will look like some episodes are just me, some episodes will be here, some episodes will be in my office. I'm already telling you that there'll be episodes from South Africa. My first guest will be from South Africa. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna name them yet, but they know who they are. And some don't yet. I'm praying and manifesting some of you, and I am hoping that you will subscribe to coming into agreement with what I am trying to do, where we talk about journeys, stories, this and that, coming as we are. And so as I draw a close to this first episode, my first footprint, Dr. Hopelang Mateye, Nkanyezi Hopelang Niti Miponi Mateye Mokoena, Wampito Askake, Mokoena Hlakwana ya Puli ya Disema Mailangwa Tilana. Those are my clan names. If you're African, you know what that is. If you're not, welcome. You're going to learn. I'm about to tune into all my 5 senses. I'm going to ground myself. And so I'm going to take a deep breath. And I'm going to tune into all my 5 senses. And I'm going to think of what it means to me to bloom. What it means to me to start where I am. What it means to me to do it scared and do it anyway. And what it looks like is I'm going to think out loud with you for 30 seconds. It looks like vulnerability. It looks like courage. It looks like the tears that I'm feeling welling up in my eyes right now as I feel proud of myself for doing this. It looks like feeling silly. It looks like shifting professional spaces where people know that I know what I am doing because I am qualified. My degrees say I'm qualified. My knowledge says I'm qualified. The multiple lives that come into my therapy room say I'm qualified because they shift and they give me that feedback. My current employer says I'm qualified because they, as a team, felt that they could hire me and trust in me that I will do what I am called to do in this professional space. It looks like breaking generational, I don't want to say curses, but generational internalizations of imposter syndrome, of fear, of lack of confidence, of bullying as a child, as an adult. It looks like me going for my dreams and trusting my divine creator to say, I am going to do it. And I'm trusting that you're going to do it with me. This is more than 30 seconds now. I'm very aware. I am trusting my heart rate that took so long to come down, and now it's coming down, genuinely coming down, because I am in my element. I am trusting that blooming looks like this first footprint episode, next week's episode, a TV channel, a podcast, not the next Oprah, but the next Hopelang, the next Mateye. It looks like something I don't know, and I'm going to come to discover with you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Come as you are next week. Let's journey together. let's see where this goes. Thank you for thinking out loud with me.